It's time for Blumpkin and Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
Holy shit!
Excuse me, bitch!
Hold on to your butts.
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today is my friend,
Rick James.
Rick James is back, yay! Yay, Rick James, yay! Yay!
So Rick James is here. I had to twist his arm a little. Basically, guilt wore him down, so he happened to come on the show again. And today, I would like to talk about some stories from the road. Of yours.
Okay.
Because you work in the industry of land and construction surveying, and you've had to travel quite a bit over the years, and you've seen some things. And everybody loves to hear funny stories. So here we go. I have 4 written down that you have texted me about over the years.
No, yeah, these aren't all going to be. Well, I guess I'll just wait and hear what you got for me then, because I don't know if I've told you.
These 4, obviously, we've talked about extensively.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, because I guess the text messages are always intended to be enticing.
Once upon a time ago, I received a text message from you that said, if I asked you what I just saw while driving through South Dakota, and you guessed an Indian passed out on the steps of an abandoned church with an empty bottle of whiskey, you would be correct.
That was probably not supposed to be funny, but it's pretty fucking funny.
It's just so typical of a stereotype.
Well, it was like 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, so what else are you supposed to be?
Right.
I don't even think it was a Monday, because you couldn't even give the weekend hangover. No, it was like a Wednesday, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And not only was he passed out sleeping, but there was multiple other ones just kind of wandering around, walking around. I think I don't really remember it too well, but I just know there was a lot of them walking around. And then I think that was one where I heard one of the kids right off of the reservation there threw a rock into a business and shattered the window, and they couldn't do anything about it because you can't do anything to them out there.
If it happens on sovereign land, you're kind of shit out of luck because it's up to the tribal council to decide how to punish.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I have a client who has a child, and that child's mother, they're not together, took him to visit his maternal grandmother and her husband, who's his step-grandfather. This was on a reservation. Step-granddaddy diddled the kid.
Is that frowned upon?
Yeah, usually molesting children is not okay.
Well, then, I gotta change some things in my life.
Ooh. Time for some self-reflection.
Hopefully none of this gets out into the public.
Right. That's fine. Nobody listens to this. Aw, bitch. So the tribal council decided to do nothing to this guy, and the sheriff's office tried to prosecute, but his lawyer argued that he was dying and had 6 months to live. So they let him off. Total shit show. And then 6 months go by, and then 9 months go by, and then a year goes by. That motherfucker's not dead, and they haven't done anything. The courts haven't followed up. Because they probably factor in, they decided to let it go, and if they try him again on these charges, it would be double jeopardy.
Yeah, they got a rough life. They really do.
Imagine if Jerry Sandusky could have used that same defense. Be like, I'm probably going to die soon, so you just don't throw me to jail.
You can just let me go.
I'll be a good boy.
I think I've heard that a few times where they try to use that defense, and then the guy ends up living for many, many years, and it's like, oh, I thought you were sick. Oh, really? Okay.
There should be a stipulation that if you claim that in court and you don't die, that you are absolutely brought back to court and tried immediately. Not, okay, we'll throw you on the court calendar and wait 3, 6, 9 more months. No, fucking that week, they squeeze you in.
Either that, or if you're not dead after 6 months, they just cut the whole thing off and you're smooth down there.
Ooh, that would be a great punishment.
Well, if you're diddling little kids, I mean...
Well, I'm a huge proponent for just shooting them in the fucking head anyway.
Yeah.
It's clean. I mean, not where you do it indoors. It's not so much, but it's, from a justice perspective, sever the tie. But, you know, the funny thing about that story of you with the native guy on the church steps passed out is that's not the only run-in with someone of that ethnicity that you have had.
No, we've had others.
And you told me another time about, and I will read you the text. I save these fucking things because they're so good. I just had a conversation with a Native American who was yelling across the street through traffic and asking about my job and what I all do. Apparently there was a lady around the Lexington and University Avenue in St. Paul area.
I do remember someone screaming at me like, "Hey, what do you do for a living? That looks like a good job. Could I get that job?"
Yeah.
Like, sure, yeah, just go down to the courthouse and they'll set you right up. They'll give you a county job, no problem. I saw a guy doing this on the street, so I thought I could. So here I am looking for a job and a paycheck.
It's just that easy. Like,
Yeah.
I walk into Target Field and I'm like, hey, I can hit singles. Give me $128 million. And then I'll develop vaginal tenderness, and then I'll sit on the bench for a while. If it works for Joe Mauer, it
Yeah,
can work
I was
for
going
me.
to say, bilateral leg weakness.
The other one, you said a woman asked you about where a store was. What store was that?
It was a liquor store at Thursday at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
And I said, no, I don't know. And then 15 minutes later, she came walking back that way with a brown paper bag in her hand.
She found what she was looking for.
Yeah.
That whole area, like right there off of 94, every exit and entrance ramp, there's a homeless person with a sign looking for money. There's so many homeless people. And one time I was driving south on Lexington to get onto 94 East. I passed by the bus partition for the MTC right next to the White Castle on the corner there, on the southwest corner. And there was a native guy half passed out, falling off the bench inside, and some kids that were kicking the goddamn side of the windows to fuck with him. They were of a different ethnicity. I won't say which, but odds are they're probably really good at football or basketball, but not hockey. Draw your conclusions as you may.
Go fill in the blank there.
Yeah. Not that it's important. These are just, facts. So if you can paint the picture in your head.
No, well, stereotypes are mean.
Well, I often wonder, like, you see those homeless women that are begging for change and shit down there? Like, what's it going to take?
Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, like, you just roll up and then you wave $1, and then when they go to grab it, you're like, not so fast. What if there's more of these? What's your afternoon calendar like? Let me see the inside of your mouth. Let's check your lips. You don't have any cold sores, do you? Can I poop on your chest?
Hey, a man's got to eat.
A man's got to eat. And a homeless lady, too.
Well, in that case, a woman's got to eat.
So aside from those stories, what have you had any other instances of people just oddly striking up conversations or yelling at you or random shit?
Not really, because usually if I do have something odd happen, I just text you just because I think it's quite funny to send like a 3-sentence text that's completely random. There doesn't need to be any background to it. I know you like to delve into it, but no, it's tough. There's usually it's not that eventful, but it's
Sometimes you're just walking along a ditch for a couple miles looking for your truck keys.
Was I looking for my truck keys? That wasn't in the ditch. The one time I did it in a field. I still haven't found them.
Walk us through that. When you're surveying, you're out in the middle of nowhere. You dropped your keys.
Yeah, it was one of those dumb things where I had a newer phone and I didn't want to put my phone in my pocket with my keys because it would get scratched up. Mm-hmm. So I put my keys in my back pocket. Well, there's a hole in my back pocket. And, you walk a half a mile around a field and then you realize that your keys are gone. It's kind of hard to retrace those steps.
And then how did that one get resolved?
I had to pay, I don't even remember what they charged, but I had to pay a locksmith to come out and make me a key for my truck.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Maybe I should have looked into it further because I'd never had work reimburse me for it. Because I was driving my own personal truck, but I was doing it for work. I was working. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of irritating. That's nothing really fun. I mean, there's more fun stuff that I found on the side of the road. Well, like I've told you about the those little Whippet canisters that I'd thought, I don't know what those are, but there's like 30 of them. I bet you there's something to do with drugs. And then I looked it up online. There's little canisters that you shoot into like whipped cream cans, I guess, to get the last. But I guess they get used recreationally too.
Yes, they do.
So when you find a box of 30 empty ones on the side of the road, it was like, wow, someone had a lot of whipped cream they needed to get out of those cans. No.
Oh, man, I missed the ice cream social.
I did just find a condom the other day. I didn't touch it, though.
In the wrapper or out?
It was used.
Was the tip fully...
I didn't look too much.
Into...
I was it's just one of those like, oh, look, there's a condom, and then you just move on.
Good for you for being responsible. Odd that it's on the side of the road.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to get to it, but there's the obvious one that I found on the side of 35.
It's on the list.
You don't forget about that one. That was probably another text too, wasn't it?
I'll set this one up. I got a text message, and it said something about, just found this on the side of the road.
Oh, was there a picture too?
Yes, at the 35W 35E split near Forest Lake. And it is a picture of a black dildo with the suction cup balls. And it was just laying there in the ditch. Like, what story does this fucking thing have? How did you get there? What were you doing before this?
Maybe they need to put, like they do on dollar bills, where have I been? You can put them on dildos so you can see where they've been.
And the funny thing is I was asking you where it was because I was really tempted to go look for it.
You wanted me to grab it.
Yes, I wanted you to
grab
pick it up and keep it just as a prize to show off, a trophy of your travels, but you wouldn't do it.
I wonder why I wasn't willing to touch a dildo that I found on the side of the interstate.
Yeah, you use a glove.
They don't make gloves thick enough for that.
You spray a little lava soap on it.
And that's where the coronavirus came from.
Some woman took a bat and used it as a dildo. And then she threw it on the side of the road. And then it died and transformed into an actual suction cup dildo.
True story.
True story. Also a true story of a text that you sent me. Another one I can read because I saved it. This is going to sound misleading, but this morning I was about 10 seconds from being caught in the girls' locker room at a local high school as the girls were coming in from gym class. That was text number 1. Here's text number 2. I'm here working on a job at the school, and the janitors gave me keys so I could get access to where I needed to go. I took a wrong turn and ended up in the girls' locker room. Minute longer, and I could have ended up being on the news tonight, and not for a good story. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, that one was funny because I envisioned the news like today. A local man found in high school girls' locker room. They must have intentionally did it where I wanted to let you know what was happening with no context. You're like, why? You just don't text someone that you're in the girls' locker room at a high school.
I'm just sitting to myself thinking, why the fuck is he at a high school? You work on the road.
Well, you know, and I wouldn't have gotten in trouble because it was a lot to do with the janitor. The janitor gives me the keys and he's like, okay, you need to go up to the top stairs. You need to take a left and then you need to go past 3 doors and then on your left there's going to be 2 doors. It's just like this. I mean, it wasn't like just go up the stairs. No, there's a little more depth. And then I just happened to count out, and then it happens to be once again I've got the keys to the school so I can get in any room. Well, this is locked, but I can't. But I got keys, I can open it. Yeah, bam, you're in the girls' locker room, and then
here we go again.
God, imagine if you would have walked in there and they were showering.
If only it was a 1980s teen movie, then life would have been good. But those were movies. Those weren't real life because the scenarios would have played out a lot differently if they were real. If
it was an 80s movie, they would have been standing there topless, comparing breasts. And then they would have talked about how they're hoping that they're going to get to do it with their boyfriends at prom. And it's coming up, and one girl's going to be like, I just wish that I had some practice beforehand. I'm really worried about being bad. In walks Rick James, and the camera just pans to their faces, and they're like, yes, this is the day.
Yeah, that's not a 1980s teen movie. That's a different kind of movie.
No, okay. And then the next scene is you're in the principal's office trying to explain, but then you're wearing a bra like a pair of earmuffs. And he's just like,
let me explain.
Sir, could you please take the bra off your head? Be like, all right, fine, but I'm not putting my shirt on. Well, you see, Mr. Belding, I was in there, and Jessie was really psyched up about something, and then she said she got an offer for a movie part, and then she raped me. Screech was there. There's Dustin Diamond just go, zoinks!
That one was a pretty funny one, though, just because you've got keys. You're at a school. You don't know. You're trying to do some work. Oh, I was trying to get on the roof is what I was trying to do because I was doing work on the roof. And the last place you probably should be is the girls' locker room.
Well, it's funny because in this day and age, the fact that they didn't escort you where you needed to go.
Yeah, no.
With all the security and the cameras and the metal detectors and the school liaison officers, the janitor's just like, here's some keys, fucking figure it out. Go down there, hang a left, 3 doors, and then another left, and then there's these 2 doors, and I don't know. Figure it out.
Just start wandering around entering, opening random doors until you find what you're looking for.
Was he like an older gentleman?
I don't think so. I think he just didn't care. It was, well, it's weird too because, a lot of these schools are pretty tight up with this stuff. There, I don't know if I told you that one elementary school that I was working on where a surveyor or a construction worker or something was doing something outside of a school and just working, and a parent seen it and thought it was someone with a gun or something, and they called the cops.
Jesus Christ.
They just called the cops. And so then now that school's got rules where if you're working around the school, you're only allowed to be around there like after the class gets in the school day begins where all the students are in, and then you have to end before they're out. But yeah, I think it was a surveyor. We were setting up our tripod, and they didn't know what it looks like. Although I have thought about it, and I think if you were a hitman, a surveyor would be an excellent cover because you can go wherever you want. You got this weird equipment. You could probably, put all the pieces to a rifle in your
sniper rifle.
Yeah. I think a surveyor would be an excellent cover for a hitman.
Or an odd choice for a background character for a male stripper.
Yeah, that one. That's all on you right there. I don't know.
Construction vest, and then you're wearing like cargo pants, and in each pant pocket is a hot dog from the gas station.
You just just anything with a man in a uniform works for you, doesn't it?
Well, is he a manly man?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a man-size hunger? Is there a can of chili involved?
Well, you said hot dogs in his pockets. You didn't say anything about chili.
I'm upping the ante. We're talking about a can of Hormel chili, and you're eating it off the manliest part of a manly man. It's so gay that it goes all the way back around to being straight again. But the chili has to have beans. Without beans, still gay.
These are very important rules.
There's context to this, and I don't even remember how I came up with that years ago, about would you eat chili off another man's dick? Like, chili is such a manly food that you could eat it off of anything and it wouldn't be
just a
gay.
pretty standard question, that's the kind of stuff you get.
Would you eat canned chili off another man's dick? With beans. It has to have beans. No beans, no dice.
Hey boys and girls, it's time for another Hey boys and girls, hey boys and girls, hey boys and 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 girls, it's time for another ITradio fucking fucker shitting ass tits beer.
I'm definitely never buying a blowjob.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but how much is a blowjob from you? 50 cents?
I'll give you a discount.
What, your fucking chin pubes tickle my sack? You knob me off discount?
No, you get 1/4.
He actually pays you.
I will suck your dick if you let me pay you 1/4.
You're
thinking about it, aren't you?
I'm glad to see he set such high standards for himself. Here's 25 cents. All right, excuse me, I need to go orally copulate you. As per our prearranged agreement.
Exactly.
And then what he does is he throws the quarter in front of them so they bend over, and then he fucks them in the ass. That was your other gift, motherfuckers.
No, because I just heard him in the Vulgarity Chronicles talk about he fucks the whole of a Linkin Park CD because his dick is so small. So how's he even going to penetrate an asshole?
You're looking way too much into this.
What up, Ninja? You're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
Now, you've also traveled quite a bit, mile-wise, and I do remember a time where you lost a very expensive piece of equipment off the back of the truck.
No, that wasn't me. That was someone I was working with.
Well, let's tell that story then.
This guy, nice guy, really nice guy, but he was just an idiot. And they knew they didn't want to have anything to do with him, but they
hired him.
They hired him because they were so understaffed. And this is when I was working, not in Iowa. I was working with another office of of our company that we had in Iowa, and we were working in Wisconsin. But the company in Iowa, I mean, there's not a lot of people walking around Cedar Rapids that are qualified for anything.
Right.
But yeah, so I think this is because I don't ever remember leaving anything, and that's what this equipment would have been, about a $15,000 piece of equipment. He just randomly texted, or he was talking about he wanted to go back to Wisconsin Dells because it was around Wisconsin Dells. We left to work. We left to go back home on Friday, going back to Minnesota. He went to Iowa. And then he texted me Monday, and he's like, "Yeah, I went all the way back out to Wisconsin Dells because I really wanted to ride on that that water slide so bad." So he just drove like 4 hours on a weekend just to go on a water slide ride. Well, he later admitted to me that, yeah, I wasn't really going out there for the water slide. I was going out there because I lost that $15,000 piece of equipment out in a field.
And a farmer found it. And it had the company name, and that's the only reason they got it back. Otherwise, he was going to have to pay for it, I thought was the story.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, he got fired from that. That's right. Now that I'm remembering it correctly, he'd said that he went out to go on the water slide, and then he confessed that it wasn't that. It was, he was looking for that, and yeah, they found it, and he didn't work there anymore after that. But I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I've broken a few things, like when I've been on the road. I've like just tiny cords or cables, you just break the end of it, and then your equipment doesn't work, and you're sitting there in the middle of Idaho with broken equipment, and you can't work until you get it. So then you're spending $200 to get a small part shipped to the middle of nowhere, Idaho.
God damn it.
Done that a couple times. I've forgotten some stuff when I was working out of St. Cloud. I remember there's a couple times when I forgot something quite obvious that we would have needed, and we're driving to Montana from St. Cloud, and we're like in North Dakota somewhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot something very important, and it's like, well, we can't really turn around and go back and get it. So
how'd the boss feel about that one?
Yeah, well, we made it work every time, so it just sucked. Some of it sucked. It made my job harder, but yeah, that was a bad job. I didn't do well there. I don't know if you've ever had any of those the people that you're around. Maybe not you, but I know there's just some people around, like I'm at my worst around this person. So this person thinks I'm walking around like an idiot every day, but no, like, once in a while I have a brain fart, and then this guy's always right there to catch me with it. And it's like, this guy just thinks that I'm a fucking moron. And it's like, you know what? Whatever. I'm not, but I don't care. That was my boss at that company.
I have those all the time, working in the social work field, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, God, please don't confuse a couple cases, fuck. And then it's like, it snaps. I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. Yep, I remember that now. Sorry, brain's on dial-up speed today. That's how I say it. That's how I get away with it in there. They're like, I know what dial-up internet is. You made me laugh, so that just disarmed the awkwardness of your inability to fucking remember basic shit you should know all the fucking time. And now, Jeremy Irons raps.
What is you hollering, bitch? I'm on some gangster shit. She wanna make me dinner. I tell her make me rich. You fucking with a winner. But I come from the litter. Ho, bet I can take that dirt. And turn that shit into glitter.
That was Jeremy Irons raps.
You're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
We've reached the point of the show when it's time to play a game. Rick James, you will be playing BS Trivia. You've played it before. It is 10 questions. They have an answer. They might not have an answer. Or if you don't know it, you could just make something up, and I'll give you half a point for creativity.
That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. It's time to play bullshit trivia on Blumpkin and Friends. Question number 1. Spell stereotype.
STEROTYPE. It's all one word, right?
You spelled stereotype. You forgot the second E in the stereo.
Stereotype. That's what you said.
No, I said stereotype. These are going to be topical for the most part
Okay,
to what we're
okay.
talking about. I thought you'd had that one for sure.
Me no read card good.
Question number 2. If you buy a 30-pack of beer, how many beers would you have to drink to consume 60% of that case?
That would be 18.
Jesus Christ, that is correct. Wow, you did that fast. I don't know if that's because you're good at math or good at beer.
I'm good at drinking beer.
You know who else is really good at math is our friend Steiny. That fucking guy is like a human calculator.
Yeah, well.
It's nuts. Question number 3. Which of these U.S. presidents worked as land surveyors? Were they Washington, Lincoln, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, or all of the above?
I believe it is all of the above.
That is correct.
Because, yeah, it's pretty common. No, I think one of the most famous ones is Theodore Roosevelt. But, yeah, Lincoln I know for sure was. And Washington was, too. And I guess all of them, sure, go for it.
Roll the dice.
Yeah, why not?
Question number 4. True or false? Dutch is a good movie.
I'm going to go with no.
It's,
I don't even know what it is.
It's an on-the-road movie.
We'll go with
Ed O'Neill is in it, and he's with this fucking kid of his girlfriend who he picks him up from some private school, and he's driving him back home for Christmas, and it's on-the-road movie.
Yeah,
and,
it's no Little Giants.
Odd movie to throw out there.
Well, Ed O'Neill, I mean, I don't know. If you would have said Dutch Oven of Doom, I would have gone with that one.
Well, it's true. It is a good movie. I'm sorry you are incorrect.
All right, I'll have to watch it. That'll be my homework assignment.
Question number 5. Pocahontas. Would ya?
Pocahontas. Sure.
The correct answer is no, because she was a teenager, and you're a grown man.
Well, what do you know? I hang around teenage girls' locker rooms, so why not?
Question number 6. Higher Rotten Tomatoes score. Tommy Boy or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Well, that doesn't really matter because Rotten Tomatoes is a worthless website, but I would say probably Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't know.
That is correct. Get this. Critics' percentage on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, 91%. Tommy Boy, 42%.
Yeah, they were wrong on that one.
The audience gave it a 91%.
Well, yeah, they're both fantastic films.
They are. Question number 7. An isosceles triangle has how many equal sides? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
No, that's an equilateral triangle. It's an isosceles is 2, and that came up yesterday at your house, believe it or not.
Oh, you and
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something he would say.
Question number 8. It's always the same question. Nobody ever gets it. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
If she was in your ass, you'd know it.
I don't think that's an answer. Is that your answer?
Well, she's not there. If she was, you'd need to get something checked.
So geographically speaking, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I'm guessing she's in quarantine wherever that is.
No, she's in a field in North Dakota.
Well, then she's probably safe of the coronavirus.
She is, but she is pickpocketing the residents of the area.
Is that something you Googled?
No, I just make these up.
What would happen if Carmen Sandiego and Waldo from Where's Waldo had a kid? How the hell would you find that kid?
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because she would have an abortion.
Yeah, I was...
And it would happen because Waldo would have his friend the wizard wave his staff at her womb, and then she would suddenly just bleed a lot.
Oh, bitch.
So, did Waldo want the abortion too?
Waldo said, I am not paying that bitch a dime. I have a swanky bachelor's lifestyle. I travel the world. I do not fuck with kids and parenting. How dare you invite me to climax inside of you and then act like you know that you're going to handle it if something happens. We're safe. And then we're not safe, and then I have to worry. I'm in Egypt right now walking around pyramids in very crowded quarters trying to find my glasses. So I can't even see what the fuck is going on. But here's you blowing up my cell like, hey, Waldo, my period's late. This is Carmen. Please call me. And I'm like, no, I won't.
You can't find me.
And then I grabbed my phone and I went beep boop, 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 boop. Hi, wizard. Yeah, I'm going to need a favor. Abortion. Question number 9. Spell theodolite.
Theodilite.
That is incorrect. Theodolite. Theodolite.
Well, no one knows what it is anyways.
It's a tool that you apparently use on the job.
It's super... No, it's like the surveying museum. It's super old.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just basically started Googling facts about land surveying.
It's pretty... Did you find anything interesting?
I didn't.
I think Nick Cage played a land surveyor in a movie once.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, neither did I.
No one did.
No, yeah. Well, Nick Cage. There you go.
Final question. Question number 10. True or false? MnDOT sucks.
I definitely know someone that works there that sucks. Nah, they're all right.
Yeah, that's incorrect. It's true. They suck. They suck moose balls.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
A lot of this is opinion-based, and my opinion is the correct answer. So, 3 out of 10. That's not great. I know you've played this before, and you just shit the bed royally compared to your first at-bat. But hey, it's a game. It's for fun. The only person that takes it serious is Joey Black, because his life is not exciting. Suck it, Joey Black. Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and friends. We are on iTunes and on Podbean at blumpkinshow.podbean.com. Go to soundcloud.com/BlumpkinMusic or search Blumpkin Music on YouTube for my original songs. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
This is Rick James, and I'm kind of wondering why you didn't bring up the story when I used the company credit card to buy a $300 lap dance at a strip club once.
Good night.